What is up, Book Nerds? NFL offense tier list. Y'all have been loving the last couple tier lists, so thought we'd finally make it to the offense. I don't actually have any rating hot takes for this, so let's hop into this. First up, Cardinals. I'll give them about a B. Their tight end was above average. Kyler Murray's average. Wide receivers are disappointing, and their running back was pretty good. The Falcons, finally get to put them in A tier. I've been waiting to put them in this tier for a long time because they keep drafting offensive studs in the draft and brutally misusing them. For once, they didn't misuse them as bad as they usually do. Because they got Bijan going off. You have Drake London. Kyle Pitts is still not all I want him to be. But overall, this offense is great. Next up, Ravens. This is actually statistically the best offense in the league, which makes sense when you combine Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. The wide receiver core you got, Zay Flowers, other than that, kind of underwhelming. Mark Andrews and what's his name? Isaiah Likely, I think, paired up for a nice tight end duo. And this offense was great, just disappointing in the postseason. A fellow disappointing team in the postseason, the Bills, who are A tier. I know y'all Bills fans were pissed off when I put Cooks in A tier, but that's not bad. I'm just saying he's not a top 5 running back in the league. He's still top 10. He's probably top 8, top 7 maybe. And Josh Allen is good as always. He got his MVP. Your wide receiver core is less to be said for, and your tight ends are okay. If I have the right team, yeah, the Giants are okay. Next up, Panthers. F. Your best receiver is Adam Thielen, who had 500 yards. Your running back is mid. Bryce Young is still young and up and coming. Your tight end is someone I don't even know. So, yeah, you're off disappointing. Now we have the worst offense in the league and the biggest disappointment in the league. The Bears is statistically the worst offense. How? This is why y'all need Ben Johnson. Hopefully he can fix y'all's crap show. What the heck happened? Y'all got Caleb Williams, Roma Dunze, DJ Moore. Y'all got Keenan Allen, right? Keenan Allen. Your running back was, what's his face? He was on the Lions and the Eagles and then the Bears. It's something Smith. Point is, he's disappointing. Next up, Bengals. Lower than I thought. They are A tier. Their pass game is the best in the league, but their run game is on the lower end of the top 5. So just because their run game wasn't as strong, that's why they're not getting S tier. But their pass game alone would put them in S tier. Next up, Browns. F tier. Nick Chubb's injured. You had Njoku as a tight end, which is good. Your wide receiver core is Jerry Jeudy. And your quarterback options are Jameis Winston and a constantly injured sex offender. So, yeah. Next up, Dallas. Disappointing. But I'll throw y'all in B tier. Dak was okay but injured. Your tight ends are, I don't even know. Your wide receiver, you got CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is saving you right now. If it wasn't for CeeDee Lamb, y'all be in D tier. CeeDee Lamb alone brings you up to B tier. Next up, Broncos. For once, the Broncos are actually something. C tier. You have good wide receivers. Bo Nix is doing well. You have your running game isn't the best, but overall your team is still pretty good. Next up, Lions. S tier. The second best offense in the league. You have elite running backs in Jahmyr Gibbs. You have elite receivers in Amon-Ra St. Brown. You have a great quarterback in Jared Goff. All around, your offense is amazing. Just your defense is injured. It's the Packers. This team is actually... I was surprised seeing the stats that they're in S tier. I think a lot of it is that they have Josh Jacobs as a running back and they have Jordan Love as their quarterback. That the receiving core is immediately underwhelming, but they do have a great rookie tight end, so that is also helping them quite a bit. Next up, Texans. The second most disappointing offense in the league. They're C tier. You had arguably a top 3 receiving core going into the season, and they only got to play one game all together. And let's see, Joe Mixon was great. CJ Stroud took a reduction. He had his sophomore slump. So it was just disappointing. Colts now. The Colts have I gotta find them on this. B. Colts are B. Anthony Richardson's wildly inconsistent. Jonathan Taylor's a top 10 running back. You have decent receivers and horrible tight end. Jags are D tier. Trevor Lawrence is the next Daniel Jones. Your wide receivers are grossly overpaid. Your running backs mid. And overall, I don't see this team being a contender. Next up, the Ref Merchants, the Chiefs, C tier. Like, I'm surprised to see them this low. But overall, your team was not good on offense. I mean, like, you look at what they did once they had to face a real contender with no help from the rest. They got their backs blown out. I mean, I'm not just being off Super Bowl. Like, literally, this team was one of the worst 15-3 to end the season? No, more like 17-3. Point is, like, the worst 17-3 team I've ever seen in my life. Because, literally, y'all had, like, compare yourself to the other number one seed, the Lions. I think the Lions scored like 50 more points in the same amount of wins. Like, that offense was heavily underwhelming. Raiders, D tier. You have inconsistent quarterback play. Your running back is not of note. You got Jacoby Myers as your number one receiver. It's not this time. It's just like he's not the best wide receiver one. So, next up, basically the C tier is becoming a party of the AFC West. The Chargers. You finally got a receiver in Matt McConkey. Quentin Johnson isn't a complete bum. And Justin Herbert is a great quarterback if he could just do something in the playoffs. Like, there are quarterbacks who can't do something in the late playoffs. He can't get a playoff win. The Rams. The Rams are B tier, I'll say. You got Stafford, who's older. Cooper Kupp, who gets injured quite a bit. You got Puka Nacua, who's a great young receiver. It does like that you are losing Cooper Kupp, though. And you have Kyren Williams, who is top 10 running back. I think he might be top 5. Dolphins. This is arguably the most disappointing Dolphins offense. Like, this is going to create my defense tier because they have an S tier defense. I missed something watching the Dolphins this year because when I started watching football, the Dolphins were all offense. Like, they were a screw it, we'll just outscore them team. And now their offense is C tier, but their defense is S tier. Stuff gets crazy when your two immediately fast receivers are disappointments, and your running back was also a disappointment, and your quarterback can't stay healthy. Vikings, B tier. Ken O'Connell's a wizard that somehow turned Sam Darnold into a competent quarterback. Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the league. You have an above-average running back in Aaron Jones. You have an above-average backup running back, a backup wide receiver in Jordan Addison. Don't clip that. Next up, Patriots. F. Who do these people have on offense? Like, I just try not to watch Patriots games because I don't like taking a nap in the middle of Sunday. Great. If I do need a nap, I will throw on the Patriots game because they're just so boring. You got Drake May, who's a good quarterback for a rookie. You got who the heck you have as a receiver? Who the heck is your running back? Who the heck is Hunter Henry is a decent tight end, but who do you have for star power? Your star power is horrible. Team is so boring. I'll talk about my team. I mean, might as well just talk about both my teams at once. They're very similar. Steelers and Giants. I think I picked two of the bottom 5 least entertaining teams in the NFL the year before. I watch these teams every week. They're not especially interesting. That's why I try to watch more of the other teams because I know I'm the only guy who was excited for Steelers Giants Monday Night Football on Sports Eclipse, where it's like all 4 sports playing on the same night. And yeah, that was not a great night. Well, the Steelers won over the Giants, so I was gonna be happy no matter what. But the All my other teams lost, so I wasn't happy that night. But playing both teams kind of boring. Got one good receiver, inconsistent quarterback play. At least it still has Najee, which is like not amazing, but not bad. Except Saints. C tier. You got Chris Olave. You got an aging Alvin Kamara. You have Derek Carr as your quarterback. So yeah, that kind of sums it up. Jets. I'll talk about you in a bit. Might as well talk about our reigning Super Bowl champion, Eagles in A tier. This team has an amazing offense. I'm surprised it's not top 5, but you have the likes of A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, just all-around elite talent. Next up, though, a team I'm surprised is not in F tier, the Titans. I'm just shocked this team isn't completely and utterly inept on offense. Like, you have an aging DeAndre Hopkins, you have Mayo Man as your quarterback. No, you don't have DeAndre Hopkins anymore. You have Calvin Ridley. That's what I meant. DeAndre Hopkins got shipped off to the Chiefs to be underwhelming. But you have aging receivers, an inconsistent quarterback. Y'all need to draft a QB. Like, y'all defense, I'm surprised. Why are we projecting them to draft like Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter? They don't need defense. Like, I'm surprised at least they had somehow an S tier defense. So I was like, y'all could stop your team from. You could stop a nosebleed. Y'all just couldn't score. Or at least that's what the stats say, but stats aren't everything, I know that. But I didn't bother to watch Titans games because I just watched the highlights because like there's certain teams that I'm just like so bored. I'm loving the last couple tier lists, so thought we finally make it to the offense. I don't actually have any rating hot takes for this, so let's hop into this. First up, Cardinals. I'll give them about a B. Their tight end was above average. Kyler Murray's average. Wide receivers are disappointing. And their running back was pretty good. The Falcons finally get to put them in A tier. I've been waiting to put them in this tier for a long time because they keep drafting offensive studs in the draft and brutally misusing them. For once, they didn't misuse them as bad as they usually do. Because they got Bijan going off. You have Drake London. Kyle Pitts is still not all I want him to be. But overall, this offense is great. Next up, Ravens. This is actually statistically the best offense in the league, which makes sense when you combine Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. The wide receiver core you got, Zay Flowers, other than that, kind of underwhelming. Mark Andrews and what's his name? Isaiah Likely, I think, paired up for a nice tight end duo. And this offense was great, just disappointing in the postseason. A fellow disappointing team in the postseason, the Bills, who are A tier. I know I know y'all Bills fans were pissed off when I put Cooks in A tier. But that's not bad. I'm just saying he's not a top 5 running back in the league. He's still top 10. He's probably top 8, top 7 maybe. And Josh Allen is good as always. He got his MVP. Your wide receiver core is less to be said for. And your tight ends are okay. But,